Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're taking a nostalgic, and let's be honest, slightly cringeworthy trip back to the 1980s. A decade of big hair, neon colors, and some truly questionable automotive design choices. While we all remember the iconic cars, what about the ones that time, and good taste, tried to forget? Get ready, because we're counting down the 10 ugliest cars for the 1980s that you probably never even knew existed. Let's kick things off at number 10 with the 1985 Mosler Consoler GTP. Now, on paper, this car was a genius. It was built by Warren Mosler, a finance guy turned car maker, who wanted to create a lightweight American. It used advanced composite materials and had a turbocharged Chrysler engine. The problem? It looked like a doorstop that had a bad run-in with a cheese grater. The proportions were all wrong. The front end was bizarrely flat, and the overall shape just screamed kit car project. It was fast, no doubt, but you'd have to be even faster to outrun the laughter. Coming in at number 9 is the 1980 Rolls-Royce. Yes, you heard that right! A Rolls-Royce on an ugliest cars list! The Comog was, at the time, the most expensive production car in the world. It was designed by the famous Italian design house Pininfarina, which makes its inclusion here even more shocking. It was supposed to be a sporty two-door Grand Tourer, but it ended up looking bloated and awkward. The roofline was incredibly flat and severe, clashing with the traditional Rolls-Royce grille. It looked like they took a classic Rolls and squashed it. For the price of a house, you've got a car that looked like a shed. Not a great deal. At number 8, we have the 1982 Aston Martin Lagonda Series 2. Aston Martin is a name synonymous with beauty and style, right? Well, not always. The Lagonda was a wild departure, a four-door sedan that looked like it was designed with a ruler and nothing else. It was a festival of sharp angles and flat surfaces, a style often called folded paper design. The ultra-thin pop-up headlights and the digital dashboard were futuristic for the time, but they were also notoriously unreliable. The overall look was less James Bond and more Labudget sci-fi movie prop. It was bold, I'll give it that. But bold doesn't always mean beautiful. Sliding into our number 7 spot is the 1989 Nissan S-Cargo. Yes, its name is a pun on escargot, the French word for snail. And honestly, no car has ever been more aptly named. This was a small commercial van designed for the Japanese market, and it looks exactly like a snail on wheels. The super tall, rounded body and the round bug-eye headlights give it a cartoonish, almost goofy appearance. While it's become a bit of a cult classic for its sheer weirdness, you can't deny that from a conventional design perspective. It's just plain bizarre. It's cute in a so ugly, it's cute kind of way, but it definitely belongs on this list. Next up, at number 6, we find the 1984 Glenfrome Facet. Ever heard of it? I didn't think so. Glenfrome was a British company that specialized in customizing Range Rovers. The Facet was their attempt at creating a more luxurious, stylish version. What they actually created was a monstrosity. They took a perfectly good Range Rover, chopped off the roof, and added this bizarre, angular fiberglass body with a massive, sloping front end and strange side vents. It looked like a wedge of cheese had crashed into a truck. It was incredibly expensive, and thankfully, very few were made, saving the world from this design disaster. We're now at the halfway point, and at number 5 is the 1988 Isuzu Toru-Pa. The standard 4-door Trooper was a respectable, boxy SUV. But then Isuzu decided to make a 2-door sporty version, the RS. The problem was, they just removed the back doors and shortened the wheelbase without really redesigning anything else. The result was a vehicle with hilariously awkward proportions. It looked stunted and unbalanced, like someone had taken a picture of a normal SUV and squished it in Photoshop. It was a capable off-roader, but its looks were definitely a compromise too far. At number 4, we have a truly obscure one. The 1981 Sparrow Wind. Franco Sparrow is a legendary Swiss designer known for his wild, one-off concepts. The Windhound was his vision of a go-anywhere luxury vehicle based on a Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon chassis. Imagine a G-Wagon, but with a body that looks like a lumpy, off-white brick. It had 6 wheels, a bizarrely tall and flat-sided body, and tiny little windows. The idea was to have a mobile command center for falconry in the desert. It served its very specific purpose, I guess. But for the rest of us, it just looks like a futuristic bread van that melted a little in the sun. Entering our top 3 is the 1986 Chimaku Ikushiraba. Zimmer was a brand famous for its neoclassic cars, which essentially meant putting 1930s-style bodies on modern car platforms. The Quicksilver was different. It was based on the mid-agenda Pontiac Fiero. But you would never know it. They stretched the front end by a ridiculous amount, added a massive chrome bumper and grille, and kept the Fiero's passenger compartment. The result was one of the most disproportionate cars ever made. It has a tiny little cabin sitting way back from a comically long nose. It looks like 2 completely different cars were welded together in the dark. It's a testament to the fact that sometimes more is just more. And in this case, it was way too much. Our runner-up for the ugliest car of the 80s at number 2 is the 1982 Alfa Romeo Alfa Seat Sprint 6C. Alfa Romeo is another brand revered for its beautiful designs, but even the greats have an off day. The Sprint 6C was a Group B rally car prototype. To fit a V6 engine in the middle, they had to create a new rear end. And it was something else. They grafted a huge, boxy structure onto the back of the sleek Alfa Seed Sprint body. It's adorned with massive vents and a spoiler, but it doesn't look cool or aggressive. It looks like the car is wearing a giant, ugly backpack. It completely ruins the lines of the original car and creates a visual train wreck. Luckily, it never went into production. And finally, the moment you've been waiting for. The number 1 ugliest car of the 1980s that nobody knows is the 1982 Storo Eno Visa IA. Now, the standard Citroen Visa was already a bit of an oddball, but the Chrono Special Edition took it to a whole new level of visual chaos. To celebrate Citroen's rally efforts, they took the Visa and slapped on a truly insane graphics package. We're talking huge blue and red stripes, big Chrono decals, sponsor logos, and even the driver's national flag on the door. It was a tribute to a rally car, but on a cheap, quirky hatchback, it just looked completely over the top and messy. It was a car trying way too hard to be cool, and in the process, it became a certified eyesore. It's the automotive equivalent of wearing every piece of jewelry you own at the same time. A truly unforgettable mess. So there you have it. 10 cars from the 80s that prove even a decade of style can have some serious low points. Which one did you think was the worst? Did we miss any automotive atrocities? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this trip down a very strange memory lane, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into the weird world of cars. See you in the next one!